here tonight as we talk Liberty Flames football. A lot is going on around our event here tonight. We've got some special guests, which we'll hear from in a little bit. It's election day, and we're back on a normal work week for football after the midweek games in October. And again, we're good to be here at Mellow Mushroom. Great crowd on hand on this Tuesday night. Liberty 5-2, 3-2 in Conference USA after a 31-21 setback to Jacksonville State last Wednesday. Liberty will return to action coming up on Saturday at Middle Tennessee. The Blue Raiders are 3-6, 2-3 in the league, and they won their last time out at UTEP on Saturday, 20-13. They've got some unique scores on their ledger this year, including a 14-5 ball game, and we'll dive into the Blue Raiders with head coach Jamey Chadwell coming up in just a little bit. It's game one of back-to-back road games for Liberty. Flames will be at UMass for a 12 noon kickoff on November 16th. The kickoff this Saturday, depending upon where you are, is a 12 noon local kick in Murfreesboro. Obviously, 1 o'clock here in the East. It'll be on the CBS Sports Network and also worldwide on our Liberty Flames Sports Network from Van Wagner. Fourth all-time meeting between Middle Tennessee and Liberty, with the Flames holding a 2-1 advantage. Liberty won a high-scoring affair in Lynchburg last year, 42-35. Brylan Green, key interception late in that game to seal the deal for Liberty. The Flames' last trip to Murfreesboro was all the way back in 1982. And look forward to talking about Middle Tennessee coming up in just a little bit. The bottom of our show will be joined by one of our special guests, Carl Miller with Carl Miller Realty. Support his efforts, and proud to have his support on the radio as well. And also we'll sprinkle in some post-game audio from the ball game last week. We'll hear from Quentin Cooley, CJ Bazell, play a couple of radio highlights from that game against Jacksonville State, and tell you about Liberty men's and women's basketball that opened up their seasons yesterday up in Xenia, Ohio, both with convincing wins over Valparaiso. So lots to get to on the show here tonight. I would love to have you be part of it. We're on our video stream at facebook.com/LFSN radio. You can put your comments or questions in there. If you have a question here at Mellow Mushroom, got an open mic, and don't be shy to come up and ask Coach a question. Also, you can email us, lfsn@liberty.edu, or join us on X at LFSN radio. All right, I've talked enough. I'm not the reason you guys are here. You're here to hear from our head coach, Jamey Chadwell. So let's bring in the coach of the Liberty Flames, Coach Chadwell. Coach, how are you doing, man? Welcome to the show. Good to have you back in here and back to hopefully somewhat of a normal week as we hit November here.
Yeah, it's been an interesting up and down, obviously from a game and all the different things. So I think our guys are probably pleased and finally maybe relieved that we can finally maybe have some normal weeks, going forward. So this will be our first early kick too we've faced all year.
Yeah.
And so I think they're really excited about that as well, because we're, a morning team. And so we're, that's really when we're getting ready to go, is around that time frame. So I think our guys are looking forward to that.
Well, what's it been like since last Wednesday? We'll talk a little bit about the Jacksonville State game, another open weekend in October to let the guys get away a little bit. And we'll just start there. Kind of what did you guys do after the Jacksonville State game?
Well, we practiced Friday, and then they had off Saturday, and then we started practicing, getting ready for Middle Tennessee on Sunday. Practice Sunday night, and so you clean up the game, and it was Halloween on Thursday, and so you want to enjoy that, but obviously you're thinking about the stuff Wednesday night,
right.
And all those things. But it was coaches and players had a little bit of time there, and then you get back Friday and you try to correct some things that you need to correct, and then you hope that your guys, your team is one, they're hungry, two, that they're maybe embarrassed, disappointed by the outcomes the last couple of weeks, and so that they're motivated to go out and play better than what we've been playing.
You mentioned Halloween, our last show. You weren't quite sure what the family was going to do. Adam's family,
we
right?
ended up going with Adam's family.
Okay.
Yeah, I think my daughters or my wife might have picked that out, so that was that's pretty easy. I just had to throw a mustache on, so that wasn't too bad there. But they all look great, and, and so it's every year you try to come up with something, and so they did a good job.
Trick or treater wise, so where you are, do you have many up that way?
We don't have many where we're at.
Yeah.
And so we went with one of the coaches' neighborhoods, and got plenty of candy to last us for a while.
All right, 31-21 ball game. Jacksonville State wins it. It went right down to the wire. A couple of plays I do want to digest and kind of get your thoughts now, a week removed from that ball game. First off, though, in the post game, Jamey, you mentioned you like the effort from your team and getting back to those standards of what you expect from a Liberty football team. Do you still feel that way after watching the tape?
I do, yeah. I mean, we played hard for 4 quarters. The sideline was connected. They were encouraging each other, and everybody was pulling for each other. That was about the first time all year that you've seen that, you felt that for whatever reason. And maybe it's because of the week before, but there was not anybody there on that sideline that wasn't pulling for either side of the ball and involved in the game, and and believing you're going to win. And so if we can told the team afterwards, if we can compete that way for 4 quarters, because I mean, you've watched us all season long. I don't know if we've played for 4 quarters all season long, and whatever it may be. And for that game, we play. I'm not saying we didn't mess up things up, but they played hard for 4 quarters, or wasn't just going through the motions. And so, I was encouraged by that. And if we can keep that up, and then clean up some of the things that that we beat ourselves on, and we had some things defensively where we gave up a couple easy things that if we don't, we're in a good position. And then offensively, we had some opportunities that. Whether it was a wrong route, whether it was a bad pass, whether it was a couple of short yarders that we had opportunities that really had a chance there. But if you go back and look, there's 3 minutes and 15 seconds to go, and we got the ball to win the game. And so all those things that maybe didn't go your way were right there against Jacksonville State's a good team, and they're in the obviously driver's seat to be in the conference championship game. We're right there and have an opportunity, and it didn't happen. And so disappointing in that, but also we're giving ourselves that opportunity. Now we got to be able to learn how to take care of those things that are beating us.
Let's take a look at a couple of plays, Jamey. I want to start out with defensively. You won the toss, back-to-back games. You've won the toss. You deferred. Jacksonville State on 3rd down. You get a key sack. They lose about 10, 11 yards. And defensively, they got you off the field to start. And I know those quick starts, you're always looking for it, but defensively, it was the time.
Yeah, it was great. It was a great start. They did a good job. They held them to that. Got a big sack. We got good field position. I mean, that's 2 weeks in a row that we've won the toss, deferred, and defenses went out and got a stop. And then offensively, we get points on the board. And so that's 2 weeks in a row where you're up 7-0. And that's one thing we've been harping on is we've got to start better. And offensively, we've done that. And then the disappointing thing. I thought our defense played really well, but the disappointing thing the last 2 weeks is we went up 7-0, and the opponent scored right away.
Yeah.
And so when you try to, when you're wanting to create that momentum and create something positive, we got to be able to get another stop there. We can't let them tie the game, and they tied it 1 play. And so that takes all that momentum out. And so, but as I said, I thought our defense played pretty well for all game long. We gave up a couple of those things there. That I mean, we held them. Obviously, if you look, you think you got them to 24 points, and off of a couple of our, one turnover there where they scored on a 1 yard line and gave them 31, and some of the things that we did offensively. So I thought they played pretty well there. But those little key moments in games where you're trying to get your momentum, you're trying to do things, we've got to be able to complement each other a little bit better.
You scored on your opening drive with Vaughn Blue around the right side. Take us through that play. Nick Pierce, who does our sideline stuff, said, look, these guys are locked in, and, they've turned the page from Kennesaw State. But take us through that kind of option play.
Yeah, it was a good play. One of those that you get a lead blocker out there. We had our tackle pull out there, and X-Gray, 300-plus pounds, and did a great job running through there. And we've tried to get Vaughn more involved, and because he does have ability, and I think you saw that he made a great run there, and that was something that we had schemed up, during the week that we felt good about, and that's one of those where that whole drive it felt good. You're moving the ball, you had a good answer with what they're doing, and so you had a lot of confidence after that to feel like, hey, we're in a good position.
Trey Stewart had 4 touchdowns for Jacksonville State. I was very impressed with him. Typically, obviously, we don't talk much about the other team because we're Liberty. But watching him on tape versus in person, well, what did you see? He was really, really good.
I think he was very hard to tackle. Yeah. And he doesn't look that way. He doesn't look physically imposing. Mm-hmm. But we had him hand in a few times, and he broke some tackles for extra yards, or maybe got the first down, or one of those things. And I thought with him, and the quarterback was right. Tough as nails. The quarterback's got an injury. Supposedly got some type of knee, and he played, and so those two made the difference. Their quarterback played at a really high level, and with that running back, and when we had the running back in, then the quarterback would break a tackle or get out of something and get that extra yard. It looked like we had him for a stop, and he'd break a tackle, and so I thought those two guys really they're really good up front, but I thought those two guys. The combination of those guys, just the missed tackles they caused, allowed them to stay on the field longer, allowed them to get that touchdown, allowed them to get the first down, and they're hard. They've done that with everybody, and they've got a good little combo. Both of them are 1-year transfers, and they came in there and they've done really well and played well, and so and you look back, we gave up a couple things where we had them hemmed in that maybe it leads to a punt, or maybe it leads to a fourth down where they have to make a decision, but the way they played and the way they ran, they ran through some of those tackles, and it was credit to them.
We're live at Mellow Mushroom tonight in Lynchburg talking Liberty Flames football. The 5-2 Flames will be at Middle Tennessee coming up on Saturday at 1 o'clock Eastern, 12 o'clock Central out there in Murfreesboro outside of Nashville. We'll take a break. And when we come back, we'll have one more segment with Coach, then let him break away for some dinner. Don't forget, still to come, we'll be joined by Carl Miller with Carl Miller Realty, and much more coming up on our show, presented by Freedom First Credit Union. We're live at Mellow Mushroom tonight, the Liberty Football Show, presented by Freedom First Credit Union.
What's important isn't that Freedom First has been in business since 1956. What's important is how we've been doing business since 1956. Since day one, we have been accountable to our members, not stockholders. We make loans that cost less, offer savings plans that pay more, and give back to our community. And that hasn't changed. What has changed is our ability to serve you with more locations and more technology to simplify your financial life. Freedom First. It's a place where anyone in our region can bank for good.
It's Lynchburg Nissan's Rocktober Sell Down. Save over $7,500 off MSRP on select remaining 2024 models, or get 0% financing on 5 popular models in stock. Plus, right now, trade in your car and get up to 130% of fair KBB value. You heard right. Massive discounts, 0% financing, and huge trade-in offers all month long. Only at Lynchburg Nissan, home of the 1,000,000-mile warranty. Visit us today or shop anytime at lynchburgnissan.com.
You're listening to the Liberty Flames Football Show, presented by Freedom First Credit Union on the Liberty Flames Sports Network from Van Wagner.
Turn up the heat. Foster Fuels is a proud partner of Liberty Athletics. Fostering warm moments for 100 years, Foster has been providing exceptional propane and gas services throughout Central Virginia and surrounding areas. From propane to fireplaces and tank installs to tankless water heaters, Foster does it all. Visit fosterfuels.com or download the app to order fuel, pay your bill, and more. Get the customer service you deserve and turn up the heat with Foster Fuels and the Liberty Flames.
Earthright Mid-Atlantic, your trusted solar and energy efficiency experts. With a focus on honesty, education, and excellence, they light the way to savings, home comfort, and a greener future. Educating homeowners about the power of solar and energy efficiency is their winning game plan. Give Earthright Mid-Atlantic a call today at 434-200-9716 or visit erepower.com.
Welcome back to the Liberty Flames Football Show, presented by Freedom First Credit Union on the Liberty Flames Sports Network from Van Wagner. Have a question or comment for one of our guests? Email lfsn@liberty.edu or post a message at LFSN Radio on X, formerly known as Twitter. Now, once again, here's the voice of the Flames, Alan York.
Moving right along on this Tuesday night in Lynchburg at Mellow Mushroom. Great crowd on hand for our Liberty Football Show presented by Freedom First Credit Union. Next week, it'll shift again to Thursday. We've got a men's basketball game on Tuesday. Speaking of basketball, we'll talk about the Flames basketball teams coming up in a little bit. But next week's show will shift to Thursday, and then we'll ride out the rest of the season back on our normal scheduled day of Tuesday. So thank you for the patience this year with shifting of the schedule in October and that one date in November. But we want to accommodate basketball next Tuesday and give Coach Chadwell the undivided attention that the football team so deserves on Thursday next week. So pencil that in. All right, Coach, a couple more parting thoughts on the ball game last week against Jacksonville State. The media asked you about the fumbled snap on 4th and 1 at the 17. Take us through again if the fans did not kind of hear what you said in the post game and how you might have kind of mitigated that moving forward with your staff and your team.
Got it.
Sorry.
And so it was 4th and short. We were going for it, felt like, hey, we get the first here. But, they had been jumping our count the whole game. And so we wanted to execute just no play. Basically, hey, we're just going to hut. And so when we first called it in, though, we signaled in the actual play, and then we changed it. And so as we're changing it, Caden is echoing that to everybody.
Yeah.
But our center heard the first one, didn't hear the second one. So everybody up there else is waiting, and we're not snapping it. And that's when it snapped, it looked like nobody knew what was going on. That was part of it. And so we didn't do a good job of communicating it all the way through from a coaching standpoint. We had another 4th and 1 where we same thing, something similar happened. Not that we weren't supposed to snap it, but we're supposed to be in another play and we didn't execute it. So that's coaching. That's coaching, and that's us there. We got to do a better job there because you got 2 opportunities down there. I think both of them are inside the 20 that you get no points, 4th and 1, and you feel like that's a big play in the game, 5 minutes to go or something of that nature. You get that first down, you're 1st and 10 inside the, 16-yard line, and you feel like, hey, one, you're in field goal range to tie it at least, but you feel like you can take the lead, and so, that's, if you go back to in Kennesaw, we're 3rd and 1, false start, those little things there where I said that had nothing to do with them. That was us. But what you're learning, your margin for error is smaller. Somebody asked me earlier what the difference in the teams, from this year, last year. Yeah. We had a big error last year. We could make a lot of errors, but we were better in so many places you could overcome those. Or this year, your margin for error is smaller, and so you got to make sure every little detail matters. And we've hurt ourselves on some of those things, and it's called us these last couple of weeks. I mean, you look at those, we've had every opportunity to tie the score or take the game, and maybe not played great, but been in both games well enough to, but we're learning that. And again, coaches have to do a better job. We got to do a better job putting our players in position when in situations of that. There's opportunities when there's plays to be made, and we've not made them. So the guys have got to make them too. They got to do their part. But those are things that you, as a coach, man, you're frustrated on because their whole team was jumping off sides. I mean, they were in the backfield quick. They were all jumping. So that was going to be, we knew it. It was going to be an automatic first down. And now you got a lot of things there. They're starting to worry, and you got 4 downs there, 3. Well, depending on what you need to do to have a chance to go score. Now they're going to have limited time to go score. So just frustrating there. The 2 4th downs are very frustrating because we had those opportunities. And I think what I would share, to me, one of the most frustrating things for me is we've had 2 weeks in a row where we've been tied at the half and had the ball coming out of halftime. Yeah. And we had opportunities to make first downs and can sustain a drive and get points, and we've not done it. And anytime you take the ball or don't take the ball in the first half, man, you got to win those opportunities. And if I'm not mistaken, you can correct me if I'm wrong, I think the opposing team has scored on the very next drive as well. Yeah. I think J-State did that as well. Yep. And so those are things there that we've got to do a better job of winning at, and you can't ask for anything better from that standpoint, coming out of halftime where you're right there and we have the ball and we have makeable 3rd and 4, makeable 3rd down. We miss it. Then the very next drive, same thing happened. We got a makeable makeable third down, and we don't run the right route. And so those are to me, those little plays. We tell the team all the time, there's 5 or 6 plays that determine the outcome of a game, and you don't know which plays those are. You can look back and know it, say, hey, that was one, but that's why you got to be so locked in. And so those are the frustrating things. I thought overall, while I was encouraged, we were down 3 starting wide receivers. We moved the ball pretty well, and not having a lot of guys that have really played, that much receiver, and we're without, speed-wise and some of those things. And so I thought we had a good plan there, but we got to help ourselves.
Yeah, you mentioned third quarter, you go 3 and out. Jacksonville State scored a field goal on their first possession, then a touchdown on their second, and then you're able to get back within 3 there. All right, after the game, I know before I left the stadium, our radio crew, which goes 4, 5, 6 deep, we all had a text chain, and somebody led off with, tonight you might feel a little bit gloom and doom, but there's a path to the championship still. You win out. Jacksonville State wins out. You get a second crack at the Gamecocks at their venue.
Yeah, they don't even have to win out. They just need to beat Western Kentucky.
Well, that's
all
true.
they need to do. Yeah. And we need to win out, obviously, but there's still a pathway.
Is that encouraging? Your guys know that.
Yeah, they know that. I mean, they know there's still a chance. Now, we don't control it, so that's, hey, we've lost that opportunity because of obviously Jack State and Kennesaw. You've lost that opportunity because you didn't play one of those 2 games. But if we can go, win games, then the 2 people that are in front of us in the standing, 2 of the people in front of us in the standings, we still have to play. And so if you beat them, then hey, then and they lose one more time, then you got an opportunity, and so that's to me is the challenge that we have. It's a slim, and more than anything, I think that's hope. You want to have hope, but our team needs to be focused on how can we win a game.
Yes, sir.
How can we not worry about trying to get there? How can we win a game? We need to win a game and get back to that feeling of what it feels like to win and doing it together. And to me, that's our main thing. Is we got to go play well this Saturday and win a game and get back on it. And one, to get bowl eligible, that's a big deal. That's a great checkpoint to get bowl eligible. And then you got 3 games in front of you to really try to finish strong.
All right, Jamey, before I let you go here and go get some dinner, you mentioned health. I'm just going to rattle off some names: Reese Smith, Tyson Mobley, Trayon Sibley, Austin Henderson. And then we'll wrap it up with what you can tell us about Christian Bodner.
Yeah, so Reese will be out probably 3-4 weeks. Hopefully, maybe getting back towards the end, maybe the last game, maybe the last 2, depending.
Okay.
So he'll be out. Austin Harrison will be out a couple, 2-3 weeks. We believe we'll get Tyson Mobley back this week. Trayon will be probably a game time decision. So we're going on the assumption that'll be a no.
Okay. That
he will not play. Christian will be out most likely the rest of the season. With him, he's recovering from his illness, and so that looks like he will not be back there. So, and he was a big miss. Christian was playing well for us, gave us a lot of flexibility on defense. I mean, he's one that was really good on a lot of things for us. So that was a big loss for us from there. I'm trying to think if there's anybody else that's
Jay Hardy.
Jay Hardy most likely be out again.
Okay.
From there, he's working on recovering, but slowly. But it's just not coming along as quickly as I think some people would hope. So most likely, we think something could change. We still got 3 days, but even if he traveled, the number of plays he played might be very limited.
Okay.
And so I view it on impact. Who can really impact it? I don't know if he's ready to impact a game. Just like Sibley, I don't know if he's ready to impact a game yet. And so Bo Burklow's hurt. He got hurt as well. So he's somebody that was a backup tight end for us that played a little bit. So he'll be out. So, that's one of those things this year is, man, it seems like every time we put the pads on, whether it's a practice or something,
comes in bunches.
It is. It does. It's one of those things, and so but I do think we have some depth, and so those guys depth-wise are going to have to show up and contribute because, we need them to.
And that's coming up on Saturday at Middle Tennessee. Our pregame show here in Lynchburg area and worldwide will start at 11:30. And for those that do tune in to our pregame show, a little tease here, was able to catch up with Dexter Ricks Jr. He wears number 20. He's from Milledgeville, Georgia, southeast of Atlanta, closer to Macon, and had a really nice time with Dexter today, talking about his family and his love for Liberty football. And he's a player that you look all around the lot, Jamey. Number 20 is making a lot of plays for you.
Yeah, Dexter's had a really good year for us. When we've had some injuries back there, he's really stepped up and made a lot of plays, and that corner position is so hard to play because you're on an island quite a bit, especially with what we do. And I'm proud of the year that he's had and the way he's really improved in a couple of years that we've been here.
All right, Jamey, go enjoy some dinner. We'll get a couple thoughts on the Blue Raiders coming up here towards the end of the show. Halfway home here at Mellow Mushroom in Lynchburg. Coming up next, we'll be joined by Carl Miller, a good friend of the radio network with a Carl Miller Realty. And then we'll have Coach Chadwell coming back here towards the top of the hour as we wrap things up. We're talking Liberty football tonight at Mellow Mushroom in Lynchburg. Our show is presented by Freedom First Credit Union. We're back to Mellow Mushroom in 2 minutes on the Liberty Flames Sports Network from Van Wagner.
At Carter Bank and Trust, we believe in a life lived full of plans, promise, and continuous growth. It's why our checking and savings accounts make it easy for you to earn high interest on your balance, so your money grows faster, all backed with the digital banking tools you need. So there's nothing holding you back from living life to the fullest. Open your new Carter Bank checking or savings account online in minutes at cbtcares.org or visit your local branch. We are Carter Bank, the preferred community bank of Liberty Athletics, member FDIC.
Curious about the Central Virginia housing market? Carl Miller Realty are your caring, competent, trusted advisors for real estate sales in Central Virginia. With over 100 years of combined experience, they are committed to helping clients make informed housing decisions. For a winning game plan and to discover the value of your home, visit carlmillerrealty.com to make your next move a slam dunk.
You're listening to the Liberty Flames Football Show, presented by Freedom First Credit Union on the Liberty Flames Sports Network from Van Wagner.
Thompson Brooks Insurance has been serving Virginia for over 40 years, helping individuals and businesses with their insurance and investment needs. The team at Thompson Brooks is experienced in understanding life and health insurance, Medicare, and retirement planning. Thompson Brooks Insurance can be reached at 434-385-8500 or online at thompsonbrooksinsurance.com. Thompson Brooks Insurance, planning today for tomorrow.
Century Exteriors offers exterior home renovations, including but not limited to gutters, roofing, siding, home additions, and much more. Century Exteriors makes the process seamless. Call 434-239-6722 for a free on-site estimate or visit centuryexteriors.com and Century Exteriors on Facebook and Instagram. Century Exteriors is a proud supporter of Liberty Flames Athletics.
Welcome back to the Liberty Flames Football Show, presented by Freedom First Credit Union on the Liberty Flames Sports Network from Van Wagner. Have a question or comment for one of our guests? Email lfsn@liberty.edu or post a message at LFSN Radio on X, formerly known as Twitter. Now, once again, here's the voice of the Flames, Alan York.
Halfway home on this Tuesday night in Lynchburg, Virginia. My name is Alan York, host of the Liberty Football Show with head coach Jamey Chadwell. Our show presented by Freedom First Credit Union. Appreciate their support last few years of partnering with us on the radio show and the great staff here at Mellow Mushroom. Great menu and really good sweet tea, which I've already drowned down to a cup of it here to my right. It's really good, by the way. All right, before we bring up our next guest, I do want to kind of recap Liberty basketball. Basketball season. Overlap for us broadcasters. Never a dull moment to doing what we do, but we love it. And our crew here today, Jamey, Caleb, and Cody helping us out. But we were in Dayton, Ohio. Me and Jamey Hall were both in, I say Dayton, outside of Dayton, Xenia, Ohio, for a event put on by Athletes in Action at the brand new John Wooden Family Fieldhouse. The Liberty women's team started off the day winning 77-58 over Valparaiso. Three were in double figures, led by Emma Hess, who literally played high school ball next door to the venue. That's how close her high school was to the venue yesterday. She had 20 points, 6 threes. Liberty hit 13 of 20 3-pointers. And if you don't follow Jamey Hall on social media, follow him and our Liberty Radio feed, Twitter, X, Instagram, Facebook. Jamey's got a great interview with Emma Hess and Carrie Green on that. Liberty women's team 1-0. They play Duke tomorrow. No, Thursday. Get my days all mixed up here. Overlap season, I told you. Thursday, 7 o'clock at Liberty Arena. That'll be a fun home opener for the women's team. The men's team, also, they secured the doubleheader sweep of Valpo, 83-63. They led pretty much the end. Yeah, you can go applaud for that if you want to. Yeah. Shout out to Richie McKay and the men's team. They were down 4-0, and as I said on the radio last night, after it was 4-0, it was over. Liberty found out what they were doing offensively, put the vice grips on them defensively, and just really boat raced Valparaiso. 4 in double figures led by Caden Matheny and Owen Aquino's 16. Here's a couple of stat lines here before we bring up our special guest, Carl Miller. 4 in double figures. Owen Aquino, in his first Liberty game, 16 points, 11 rebounds. That's a double-double in basketball. 8 of 9 from the field. Yeah, I'm sure Owen appreciates the applause, Kathy. He also had 5 blocks. He's the first Liberty player to have 5 blocks since John Dawson against William and Mary back in 2017. It's just an incredible game. And not to be outdone, Zach Cleveland, junior from Bloomington, Illinois, 13 points, 7 rebounds, career high, 8 assists. You're really going to enjoy both these teams play. Again, the home opener for the women's team on Thursday. The men's team leaves tomorrow for a trip out west to play at Seattle on Saturday night. So here's your day Saturday. If you're in Murfreesboro, great. We'd love to have you. But a 1 o'clock kickoff, you can join us on the radio. And then 8 o'clock Eastern, Nick Pierce, he's traveling with the men's team. He'll be in Seattle with the live play-by-play. So he'll have that on the radio at 8 o'clock as well. And the women's team stays at home for a game Saturday night. So lots to do here in overlap season. But again, both men's and women's basketball teams start off the year 1-0. All right, let's bring in our special guest here. Y'all all know him really well. He's a friend of the radio network, does a little media on the side of his day gig. Carl Miller with Carl Miller Realty. That's Carl with a K. Did I get it right, Carl?
You got it.
Good to have you on the show here, my man.
It's good to be here.
When I heard you were going to be on tonight, I said, man, our fans are in for a treat. Not only do you know the real estate market, you have a great podcast, a great radio show. We like radio guys, even though you're a real estate guy, Carl. Yeah. But thanks for coming on with us. Where are we right now with we talked a little bit about the election season, which is coming to a head here today with Election Day. Not here to talk about the election, but I know a lot of the fans might have a idea or a thought on how does it change the market, and we'll get to that maybe in a minute. But how are you doing? Where is the market right now? And let's just run down some things here.
Well,
Carl.
Lynchburg, Virginia continues to be just a great workplace to work, play, live, and invest in real estate. The median sales price of a home in the United States is now $427,000, and in Greater Lynchburg, we're just over right around $300,000 for a single family home. So that's a 30%. It's 30% less to buy a home in Lynchburg than it is anywhere in the U.S. As a median number. But I just want to say, first of all, just so honored, first of all, for the opportunity to be here with you. You're Mr. Jet Setter. I'm surprised you're not jumping on a jet flying from the football game out west to the basketball game on Saturday.
I tell you what, if I was Kurt Herbstreit, I might be able to make it. Shout out to Kurt, who does a great job with college and NFL. But it's a labor of love, and we try to get to as many games, Jamey and I do, as we can. But we have a deep, talented roster. Nick, of course, does our lead play-by-play for baseball. Yeah. And it's only a matter of time before Nick flies the coop and is doing something nationally or something. He's just got a great voice, and we're tickled he can go out to Seattle with the basketball team. But we love what we do. We love having folks like yourself on the radio to talk about passions of yours, which is real estate.
Yeah, well, and it's the premier realtor sponsor of Liberty Athletics. I'm just so grateful, first of all, to have the opportunity to do that, but also to live in Lynchburg. You know, this amazing campus of Liberty University exists with a proclaimed mission of developing Christ-centered men and women with the values, knowledge, and skills essential to impact the world. I mean, it's a grounded mission statement. And I learned today on niche.com that they ranked Liberty University as number 4 best college campus in America for 2025. It was pretty amazing.
Yeah, sure. The mission, training champions for Christ, you can't beat it.
It's unbelievable. So when you think about athletics, you know, the football program especially is kind of a marketing arm for the university, right?
Yeah.
But Liberty University is a marketing arm for the Lynchburg region. And I just went to 3 conferences. I was on the road for 2 weeks in the last couple of weeks. I was in Baltimore and Phoenix and Kansas City and meeting business owners in different parts of the country. When I mentioned Lynchburg, they're tying it in with Liberty University. Like, oh, that's where Liberty is. So,
sweet.
So, you know, Coach Chadwell and that winning record last year. And of course, we were in Phoenix January 1st this year. But, you know, it puts Lynchburg, Virginia on the map.
Right.
And so just one of the things our team did a few years ago is we just evaluated who our best clients are. You know, what's the common threads and who are they? And the common thread was Liberty University. You know, it was somebody who was an alumni, or maybe it was an aunt or grandparent who discovered Lynchburg, Virginia, and the region here and how affordable it is. And it was because of Liberty University. Mm-hmm. And then you combine that with the mission statement of raising leaders. And, you know, at our little firm, we're all about providing hope, being an asset, being a value add. And it just, the mission's aligned a lot with our company and with what Liberty University is doing for the greater Lynchburg area.
All right, one important thing when it comes to buying or selling a home, interest rates, you know, getting a good mortgage. How are you educating buyers and sellers now? And where do you see the trend in that going?
You know what? I mean, so interest rates are way bigger than anything we can influence, obviously. and you know, here's the reality. When we had a market where the government artificially lowered interest rates, you know, to 3% for a mortgage rate or even under 3%, you know, it caused the rush of demand. It caused a lot of people to move. And now what's happening is a lot of people are kind of locked into those low rates. And to move, it's very, very expensive. Sure, house values have all gone up, even in greater Lynchburg. Just so you know, in the last 6 months, our median sales price is up 8% in Lynchburg. So this is in a high interest rate environment. But what happened was when the interest rates doubled, you know, in the summer of 2022, it happened in a very short period of time. That's kind of pinned some people into their houses. Now, here's what I know. There's a pent-up seller demand. There's people who want to move, but when they run the numbers, they see it's very expensive to move. Doesn't affect the people who have their homes free and clear. But as time goes on, more and more people are getting used to the fact that the rates are what they are. You know, prices are what they are. But what we're seeing right now in the market is it's a needs-based market. It's somebody who's unfortunately going through a hardship, like usually it's a illness or death or divorce. Those are the trigger points a lot of times for people to move right now. Job relocations is a big one too, of course, if somebody has a new job opportunity. But so what we're kind of doing right now as professionals is, hey, if somebody's in that just that adverse situation and they just need advice or just need to know what their options are, we come alongside. Our slogan at Carl Miller Realty is to be trusted, caring, competent, trusted advisors. And we're coming alongside just being trusted advisors a lot of time. And I've actually advised many clients, hey, look, it's not the best time. Stay where you are, and we'll here's an option for in the future. But no, interest rates are a big deal. I mean, house payments. I mean, we don't. The only time it matters what you pay for a house is the day you buy it and the day you sell it. We live in the payment, and so those payments have to make sense with a household budget. And if it doesn't make sense, then we have to find either a lower price point or a different location. Or compromise on the condition of the house so that the location and the condition, the location and the price point makes sense.
Joined by Carl Miller with Carl Miller Realty, the preferred and premier realty sponsor of Liberty Flames Athletics. All right, Carl, through your lens, popular spots now. What areas in Lynchburg, Forest, Bedford, take us just around the area. What are some hotbeds with real estate, and what are your customers wanting? Where are they wanting to buy? And give us the skinny on the up and up when it comes to real estate spots in this area.
It's real simple, actually. Every buyer buys when 3 things line up. Number 1, they like the location. Number 2, they like the architectural style and condition of the home. And number 3 is they're comfortable with the price. So So back to this area, one of the beautiful things about Lynchburg is you can get across town in 20 minutes. I mean, assuming no traffic. I mean, you can get up to the Boonesboro, sort of the older part of town, beautiful architecture, older houses, kind of the old money of Lynchburg, very, very popular area, and continues to be a strong area to buy. It doesn't matter whether it's a $300,000 house or an $800,000 home, those homes sell. And it's just, sort of the traditional, like I said, the old money part of town. But what's crazy and what's interesting is, I mean, there's new subdivisions happening all over. And you can be within 10 or 15 minutes of Liberty University. You can be within 10 or 15 minutes of church, work, and school. And that's kind of what I find people in Lynchburg like. They like to be within a short commute distance.
Oh, yeah.
But what's interesting is because when you go out in the country a little bit, you can get more affordable house. You can get more house for your dollar. And so because of that, we've got builders building in Brook Neal zip code, 30 minutes south of town. And honestly, we're selling those houses as fast as they're being built. They're building these, 1,500 square foot homes on a slab, but the prices are, under 300 or in the low threes with a 2-car attached garage. And those are selling as fast as we're building them because, again, it all comes down to infrastructure of internet. If you have high-speed internet, honestly, you can be anywhere. So I just say this, there's just not many houses for sale. Single-family homes are still selling. And again, our median sales price is right at $300,000. And for that reason, this whole area just continues to be a great place to live, work, play, coach, be a fan, and invest in real estate. So,
all right, Carl,
we have big upside here.
Before we let you go, tease and promote your radio show. How can fans get in touch with you?
Sure. So yeah, we have a podcast. It's the Carl Miller Show, but it's actually, that podcast is actually a radio show. That airs on WLNI Saturday mornings at 10 o'clock and replays Sundays at 11.
All right,
we try to keep it interesting.
You're always welcome on the radio.
Thank
Always
you.
enjoy having you on here talking about the real estate market and how you benefit buyers and sellers in the community. Have a good rest of the week, and come on anytime you want to.
Thank you, Alan. We're here to add value, so I appreciate it,
All
sir.
right. That's Carl Miller Realty with a K, the premier preferred realty sponsor of Liberty Flames Athletics. All right, we're not going to take a break. Cody, I'm cueing you. We have some audio to play. It's the mid-show file. We're going to go back to the Jacksonville State game. Here's some radio highlights and a little post-game reaction from Quentin Cooley and C.J. Bazell, and then we'll get Coach Chadwell back up here, a couple of closing thoughts. So let's revisit some of the radio highlights from last week against Jacksonville State.
First play, pivotal play. Flames send a blitz. It's picked up. It's now going to be Huff. He's back at the 30-yard line. They dogpile him. A loss of about 12 on the play. T.J. Bush, C.J. Bazell, the entire defensive line just suffocating Huff on the big play there on third down.
Exactly what you want to see out of this Flames defensive line. We talked about it at the top.
Salter in the shotgun, takes the shotgun snap, and a pitch around the right side to Von Blue to the 10, the 5, a comeback, and he's in the end zone. Light him up. Touchdown, Liberty. Von Blue around the near right side, untouched. 25 yards, and the Flames strike first. So it's good round. First play, pivotal play. Flames send a blitz. It's picked up. It's now going to be Huff. He's back at the 30-yard line. They dogpile him. A loss of about 12 on the play. T.J. Bush, C.J. Bazell, the entire defensive line just suffocating Huff on the big play there on third down.
Exactly what you want to see out of this Flames defensive line. We talked about it at the top.
Salter in the shotgun, takes the shotgun snap, and a pitch around the right side to Von Blue to the 10, the 5, a comeback, and he's in the end zone. Light him up. Touchdown, Liberty. Von Blue around the near right side, untouched. 25 yards, and the Flames strike first. So it's a good route by Rudolph. Penalty takes it down to the Liberty 32. In motion goes Michael Petway. They feed Stewart again, and he'll slip a tackle. Ball comes out at the 24. It looks like the Flames have popped on it, and they have. Coming out of the pile, Dexter Ricks Jr. with the fumble recovery. First down and goal for Liberty at the 2. Flames down 14-7. Salter in the shotgun, gets the snap, turns left, hands off to Cooley, bangs his way in the end zone. Light him up. Touchdown, Liberty. Quentin Cooley with the touchdown run, the senior from Bailey, North Carolina. Bailey Lucas to the right of Caden Salter. 2 receivers right, 1 left. Ball's on the left hash on 2nd down and goal from the 5. Snap to number 7. He rolls right. He throws right. It's caught. Jacob Jenkins in the end zone. The tight end says, light him up. Touchdown, Liberty.
Jenkins atones for the PI or the penalty with the block.
Game always comes down to just a few plays. Few plays that stand out in your mind tonight that kind of decided this one, are there?
Nah, not really. Not right now. Just certain drives. Like, we got to finish on certain drives and stuff. We're beating ourselves right now. As people can see that on the field, but like just certain drives we got to finish.
Energy, effort. You feel like that was there tonight? Seemed
yes.
like
yes.